In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we helped one of our clients, Nick Theriot, generate $100,000 with Instagram and how you can do the same. And I'm going to go over all the things we did, all the things that worked, that didn't work, and some things that you can implement in your own personal brand. Now, of course, no income claims. I have no idea who you are. I have no idea if you have a proven offer, if you have a proven personal brand that's working. I don't know any of that. So therefore, I cannot guarantee that this video will make you money. I'm just going to share lessons and that's it. So let's get right into it. Now, before we start working with Nick, his Instagram profile was very, very random. So first he had about, I think he had about like 17,000 followers, if I'm not mistaken. He had about 17,000 followers. He was posting, I think, a few times a month. So definitely inconsistent. So inconsistent posting. And what he was posting at that time was pretty much memes. He was posting memes about, just relatable memes in his niche. Like, for example, when your, CPA skyrockets and then it's some funny visual, right? And everybody laughs. So what he was posting is pretty much memes. Memes, wins, some client wins. And he was also posting value-driven content, right? And I think memes were the ones that were driving the most attention because obviously they're memes. Everybody can relate to memes. Everybody loves memes. They're pretty engaging on its own. And what happened is that his audience got used to that. I reckon that his audience came mostly from YouTube because before that he was big as fuck on YouTube. And obviously family, friends, colleagues, all those people that already knew him in the e-com space. However, those were some of the disadvantages. We came in, the 17,000 followers, inactive, not posting consistently. The content, the audience was used to the type of content that we were not actively making at that time. We were doing talking heads. He was promoting memes, and there was a bit of a mismatch right there. But that was okay because what we did have is we had crazy testimonials and case studies. Nick is one of those guys. He is the GOAT of the ad space, to put it simply. He has some of the best case studies and testimonials that you'll ever see. He helped some of his clients make a few $1 million in like 2 to 3 days. A 500K, 600K in like a single day. That is like insane. He has unheard results. Unheard of, literally. So that's something we had to work with. And he also had credibility in the space, obviously, because of all of those results. Credibility. Everybody knew him as an authority. And he also had a really aesthetic profile. If you go on his profile, you will see how aesthetic it is. It is so beautiful. When you land on that, it immediately speaks professionality and you just want to work with the guy. Or at least you're intrigued to find out who he is, what does he do, right? Because it's so professional. So those are some of the things and situations that we had going into this deal working with Nick. And obviously he had some of these right things, but he just didn't know how to monetize it. He just didn't know how to advertise it. He was doing really, really good on YouTube. Like he was doing a really good job on YouTube. He was super goated, but on Instagram, he was just not utilizing it to its fullest potential. So I'm going to talk about how we actually used that potential and how we started ramping up his page. So the first thing we needed to do is, obviously, since his followers were kind of inactive, the engagement was starting to slowly drop. He had good engagement, but it was starting to drop. And we just needed to revive the account with some top of funnel content. So that was the very first thing we did. Very top of funnel content with a big total addressable market. So for example, we were making videos about general life and business lessons, something that could apply to any business owner starting at 1,000 a month, 100K a month, $1 million a month. The total addressable market was huge. We were making videos about how to write ads without niching down what kind of ads for which platform. Again, bigger addressable market. We were making videos about Nick's stories and his come up and all that kind of stuff. Again, just to get more views. So the initial phase was get more views and revive the account. Or in other words, get some motion. Review. Did I say oh my gosh, I wrote review. Actually, I'm going to put get some motion going. Right? Get some motion because that's actually the real words. get some motion going. When you have motion, when you have momentum, all you got to do is just like ride it, ride the waves. That's all. It's all going to be good, right? So that was the initial strategy. However, with this top of funnel content, there always comes a problem, is that low lead flow. People will, they will love you and they will follow you and all that kind of stuff from top of funnel content, but it is not enough for them to reach out. There's no incentive. There's no you actually talking about a product or value. There's nothing like that, You're just talking about general stuff, There's nothing specific. So Nick came to me one day and he was like, hey man, this is awesome. We're posting good content. It's getting views, but zero lead flow. So what I then decided to do is I decided to, naturally, Nick, he has really, really good case studies. Let me talk about them more. So what happened is he went on a podcast with another one of our clients at the time, Sam Jacobs, and they did a podcast, and there was one particular clip in which he talks about how he helped Icon Amsterdam scale to 2 million a month. And I decided to clip up that video, and I don't know how many views it got exactly, but I think it got around 150,000 views organically, right? So 150K views organically. It might be now at this point at like 200K, I'm not sure. And it got us 300 leads. It got us 300 leads. Those like ManyChat comment automations? It got us 300 leads of those, right? Very fucking cool. We had our first winner. And also from that single video, he got a couple student sales. So for his inner circle, student sales, and he booked a few calls for his agency with some businesses doing 200K a day in ad spend. Sorry, a month in ad spend, not 200K a day. And that was all within 11 days of working together, right? So 11 days in, we already had a viral video, tons of leads, student sales, and booked calls. Very, very good. And that is when we actually decided to stick to this, strategy a bit more. And obviously, I knew immediately as soon as I got that video, I knew that it was going to perform. Why did I know it was going to perform? Well, because number one, Icon Amsterdam, everybody knows them. They have gone super viral as well, especially at that point, they've gone super viral with their clipping strategy, and everybody knew them, especially in the ad space. In the ad space, when you say Icon Amsterdam, not necessarily Anuha. If you say Anuha Brothers, like a lot of people from the general business space will follow you, but Icon Amsterdam, specifically ecom, hits the spot. So that is why I think it went viral, because they're known in the space. And we said specifically Icon Amsterdam, and in the hook we also said Anuha Brothers. So that is why I think it gone viral. We just targeted some like very huge individual, and when we said yes, we helped them achieve a big result. By the way, they were like known for that result. Like Anuha Brothers, the only reason why they were known is because they were making multiple millions a month. And so when you come in and say, hey, like the reason why they achieved that is me, it's shocking, right? So those were some factors that I think benefited the video. And obviously we knew that we had a viral format, and not only viral, but a format that's going to bring us leads. So I was like, okay, let's do more of it. So I told Nick, okay, let's film some individual videos. Up until this point, we were just clipping his podcasts and videos and all that. But I was like, okay, let's actually make some filmed individual videos about your case studies and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that is exactly what we did. We made one more video about Anuha Brothers. We made countless Anuha Brother videos, just to be precise, but this one really stands out, and you'll see why. And we made one case study video about Alex Chen. So Anuha Brothers. Oh my God, this is terrible handwriting. So Anuha and Alex Chen. Alex Chen is also another guy who's known in the info/e-com space because of his clipping strategy. So again, really good one to leverage, especially at that time. That's where he was really popping off. I don't know, the guy's not really relevant today. But either way, that one video that was specifically filmed for Anuha Brothers, that one went super fucking viral. I think it got like 90K views or something, but got us like 3,000 leads. Okay? Got like less views, like 2 times less views, but got like 10 times, more than 10 times the amount of leads. 3,000 leads for that one single video. In fucking insane. Right? An Alex Chen video, they got like low couple dozen of thousands of views, maybe 20K views, but still brought 200 leads. Now, what I can't answer is why did those specific videos do a lot better than the clipped ones? I can't answer that. I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that it was filmed separately, because it does have a different vibe. When you're clipping a video, it has a different vibe compared to when you're filming a video, and especially compared to if somebody's filming you versus you filming yourself. Authority is different. It has a different vibe to it, and people just respond differently to it. So maybe that's the only reason. Maybe we said a couple of words differently, because obviously it is scripted, it is more planned than the podcast one. So that's also my guess. But we just started ripping this angle until it died out. And by the way, there's all kinds of proof in my Instagram. Like, you literally can go on my Instagram and see there's a little highlight with Nick's face on it, his name, and you can click that highlight and you can see that I literally manifested all these results. I was like, we just started working with Nick, and we're gonna have crazy lead flow, we're gonna do crazy things for him. And then there's also a couple stories later, I think, there's gonna be like literal proof that what I said was correct, and how we were booking calls with him. Check out the Instagram and make sure to follow me as well for daily content, daily stories, so you never miss a video like this as well. But there's a shit ton of proof as well, just so you know that I'm not talking out of my ass, and you can see that I kind of documented this live as it happened. But now I want to talk about a big issue that happened. Is, I don't know if you guys are using ManyChat or just like you're having your setters go on Instagram directly, but we were forced to use ManyChat with the setter. So we had a lot of ManyChat issues. And the reason why we had to use ManyChat is because Nick just didn't want the setter to be logged in on Instagram. He was scared of getting banned, which, I guess is a fair concern. We don't want him to get banned. That's the last thing we want. So we had to use ManyChat. And with ManyChat, it's just the shittiest platform. If you ever sat on ManyChat, if you have setters and you ever did them on ManyChat, it's so shit. Number one, you cannot message the people that follow you. Number two, I don't even think that when people respond to your automation that you can message them. I don't even think you can do that. Number three, you cannot message the people. You cannot follow up with the people that didn't message you in the last 7 days. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's just like, do you know how many leads and conversations we lost? Just to put it in perspective. From June, when we started working with Nick, to now, I think we've grown like 5,000 followers. I might be wrong. Maybe we did 4,000, I don't know. Definitely 3,000. 3,000 or 5,000 followers. That is literally 5,000 convos lost. Because the seller had no access to message those people. 5,000 conversations. We could have easily gone through all of those followers and messaged them, had a conversation, and booked some of them on a call. Out of 5,000 people, how many would have booked? Even if, 10% worst case scenario books. That's still like what? 500 people, if I'm not mistaken. I hope my math is not up, but I think that's 500 people. 500 people on a call? That's so much money that we missed out. And that's, like, by the way, the fucking barest minimum ever. But no, I can tell you, we have so much high quality talent for acquisition on our fucking channel. It's insane. There's guys that reached out to us. They're making $1 million a month with their stores. Like, I know that out of these 5,000, we could have booked at least 2,000 calls because our quality of the audience is so fucking insane because of the content we make. And it's also something I'm going to touch on as well. But 5,000 conversations and so many, who knows how many follow-ups we have lost. Okay, we never tracked, but we have lost so many fucking follow-ups, and it's insane, right? Because it happens. People forget to book a call, and then you just can't follow up with them. But if you did follow up with them, maybe they booked. So who knows how many booked calls we lost right there, and revenue as well. And yeah, if you ever have sellers, never put them on ManyChat. However, here's how we're fixing that, and here's how you can fix that as well. Because if you are scared of getting your account banned by having people on there, I know that Jeremy Haynes, he's also one of our clients. He also is against that. I don't know why, but valid, I guess. He has more data to prove it. I don't know. I know a lot of people again who just straight up put people on an account, but I don't know. I guess it's preference. How we're gonna fix that is we're introducing a new app which is called Ellipsant. And I highly recommend that you guys check them out. What they are is they're pretty much a competitor to ManyChat. They have automations, just like ManyChat has them. Automations, so normal stuff. But what they also have is their own built-in CRM, which I've never seen that. A CRM for Instagram organic. I have never seen that. You can literally track how many leads a video has gotten and how many booked calls that specific video has gotten. There is a catch. It has the same limitations as ManyChat because those are basically Meta's rules. And if you are going to build an app like this, you have to work with Meta directly and you have to comply to their rules. Otherwise, you cannot build the app, right? So that's a downside. However, and in order to have a properly working CRM to track those leads and booked calls and everything, you have to be messaging it through Ellipsant. Otherwise, it doesn't count. Or you can just like message them on Instagram and update everything on Ellipsant, whatever is easier for you. Or there's also like a workaround where if somebody follows you, you cannot message them from Ellipsant, but you can set up an automation and everything. But again, you can go on Instagram, see who followed you, message them, and then go back to Ellipsant and chat with them. Same for follow-ups. If you can't follow up with somebody after 7 days, go on Instagram, message them, and then come back to Ellipsant. But again, Ellipsant, the only reason I'm choosing them, they're a lot, more expensive than ManyChat. I'll say that. But again, I think it's worth it. And you also get one-on-one support. And the guys, they've made 30 million with organic. They've seen all kinds of issues with ManyChat. So if there's anybody who knows what they're doing in order to compete with ManyChat, it's them. So I would 100% recommend them. Go check them out. I'm not sponsored or affiliated. It's just like something that I've never seen in the space. They're the only ones offering it. And it's a big market need for this, okay? So yeah, that's what we're introducing to fix this. And also add tracking. So we exactly know what kind of action, which reel is giving us the most leads and booked calls. So we can put that feedback back into creation of content and make better content. Simple. And we also, in terms of that, we tried giving like shared access to the server. There were some issues with that. We still need to figure that out, but that's also one way that we're going to be doing to fix that is giving Sarah shared access. Now, another issue that we start to experience around this time is falling engagement, right? So we had videos before that were super engaging and people would engage and all that, but recently, I think since maybe October, November to December, we've had videos that would hit like averaging like 1,000 views, but then also averaging 2,000 views. But what's worse is that we had videos that were getting like 9,000 views. However, the problem is all of those videos would average 30 to maybe 100 likes. So look at that. You get 9,000 views and you get 100 likes. That's not good. And by the way, I know a lot of people say don't optimize for likes and views. Likes ain't cash. I agree. But I think you should actually look at what are people liking. Because if you have a low view video but more people like it versus a high view video but less people like it, that's a sign. That's a sign of how many people actually willingly took the action. Like the video has to inspire them to take the action of liking. The video has to do that. Meaning, if a certain video inspired more people to take an actual action of to like the video, to lift your finger to like the video, that means that video has something that the others don't. So you need to recreate it, right? And that's exactly what we started doing to fix that issue. We started, seeing, what's the pattern? Why did this video get more likes? Why did this one didn't? And then we just recreated it. And one thing we realized is that we were pretty much ripping the same old format. So one of the formats was you have this like screen, and then you have like these are like the black bars right here around the video, and like this is the actual video. And on top of it, you had like POV text. I'm sure you've seen these types of videos where you have like, like black bars at the top and bottom, and the video is like in the middle, and then you have POV text, like POV you scale your client or something. And like we were like that worked, but we were ripping that like a bit too much. We were ripping that style every single day for months on end. And I think what happens is like as people are seeing that every single day, they just get bored of it and they're like, oh, it's the same video. Even though it's not the same video, they just see the same format and they're like, oh, I don't want to look at it. So I think that was also the issue, and that's when we started to change the editing style a bit, where we were doing like more like full screen type of videos instead of these, and that's when engagement also fixed itself. So fresh content, fresh format, and then we also implemented a new style of content where instead of just doing talking heads, so what we were previously doing is just talking heads, you know, talking, right? And so what we started introducing as well, a lot more, I think 3 times a week, is B-roll shots, right? B-roll shots. So what that is like you have B-roll shots in the background, you have nice music in the background, and instead of a talking head, you have text on the video showing the story, right? Again, and those new formats, and they're actually fixing our engagement, right? Fixing their engagement. And with that, we're already seeing very, very good engagement on likes, comments. So likes and comments, aka those CTAs, which is what we're optimizing for as well. So has been really, really good. So if you are experiencing some kind of a fluctuating engagement, I definitely suggest that you switch up some formats as well. And then what was also happening is that we were also just pretty much trying to come up with new ideas every single day. So every single day we try to come up with a new video, a new idea, fresh idea, which is kind of shit. It's not good. Like, the goal is not to do one idea every single day. It's to take a few pieces of, obviously you need to test. If you're still testing, if you're starting off fresh, you need to test what works. But then when you find out what works, and by the way, we have found out what works so long ago, like, it's just a mistake. I don't know why the fuck we were just repeating the same shit over and over again, where we were like coming up with new ideas. All we had to do, and we will do this going into January and February, is we will take the best pieces of content that have performed the best in terms of engagement, views, all that, and we will recreate them and make them better. That's literally it. I'm going to talk about it as well in just a second. However, what was also happening is that this strategy that we were doing was not really scalable, right? It was not really scalable. And the reason it wasn't scalable is because what we were doing is posting content, posting content and pretty much hoping for inbounds, right? We were getting inbounds, but not as much as we should. But what we started doing recently is we started posting these story CTAs. So Nick would post a story. So now it goes like this: content, stories or carousels, and then DMs. Okay? So we use content to attract people, to bring them onto our profile, and then we use stories and carousels to convert people, make them like us, make them trust us, make them get to know us as a person, not just this person on screen, right? Get to know us personally. And then we also, what we would do, especially in December, Nick would show wins that he's getting inside this inner circle. He would show the trophies of people hitting 10 million, 8 figures, 7 figures per month, total revenue, all that. And then he would slap a CTA. And he would slap a CTA, but with an insane offer. One offer we had is like he was giving him 4 months for free off of his inner circle. That's a fucking steal of an offer. And we had so many fucking people reach out to us. Like, we ripped that on literally the 31st, and we had like 50 to 100 inbounds. Like, the server literally could not keep up, right? Which is such a better model compared to this one here, because you're hoping. And having and optimizing your system for inbounds is good, but I don't think that should be the priority. I think you should optimize your system. And this is why we're reaching out to followers. We don't want to wait for people and hope for them to reach out to us, because the nature of the human brain isn't to take action. It's to take shit easy, be slow and all that, and then reach out. So we need to kind of force them into our DMs. And this is one of the ways we did that, and it worked out perfectly. In fact, the 100K that I'm talking about today, that was made recently, like very, very recently. It was slow until we added this system. So all of this 100K, maybe that was made like in the past 1 or 2 months, not all these other months, just because of this little one change. So I think if there's the biggest takeaway that you were actually taken from this video is reach out to people. Don't wait for people to reach out to you. Yep, that's like waiting. It's like waiting for January 1st to start something. No, just start it today. Just start on the 26th of December. I'm just gonna finish the video off with saying what we're gonna be doing in January, February. But again, the biggest takeaway from this video is the fact that stories and carousels, stories mainly because we didn't post many carousels, made the biggest difference in terms of actual conversion. Content to get views, stories to nurture, and carousels. CTAs to lead people into DMs, book them on a call. And by the way, content has to be really good. This is something I didn't get to talk about, but content, your content has to be actually valuable and good. Every person that reaches out to us, on average, makes 100K a month. That's why messaging your content is super important, and that's why we're literally doing so well. But anyway, what we're going to be doing more in January and February is definitely, instead of testing out new ideas, we're going to just be focusing on winning formats, better tracking so that we actually know what actions make the most money, what content makes the most money. Oops, did I say actions? I meant tracking. Better tracking. So that we know exactly what makes the most money and we focus on the biggest ROI tasks, better tracking, and what I want to say. Yeah, stories and carousels, aka better nurturing. Stories, carousels, and better nurturing. Because a lot of people focus on the content, focus on the new audiences, focus on the reels, but never on the current following that they have. That's where they're leaking the most money. Your followers, they have to be your main focus. You have to nurture them. You have to care about them. You have to make them feel cared for, like they're your friend. You have to speak to them like they're your friend in your stories. But content is just to attract. But anyway, I hope this breakdown was useful. If you have any questions about it, feel free to message me on my Instagram. And if you're interested in seeing who we have helped before and how we can help you as well, make sure to check out the first link in the description where you can see all of my case studies, all my testimonials, and you can book a call with me and my team where we can show you how we can implement this for you as well and how we can help you scale with social media as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. Message me on Instagram or book a call down below. Make sure to subscribe and like so you never miss a video, and I'll see you next week.